Hey my friends, it's your friend Kevin. Welcome to all of you. Let's get on with today's Divine Daily Blast, shall we? We're in a 10-1 Angel Numerology Day. What does that mean? Well, new beginnings. The number 10 signifies the completion of one cycle and the start of a new one. Leadership and innovation can be highlighted today. Individuals with a strong connection to the number 10, which reduces to a 1, are natural leaders with innovative spirits. They're driven to lead and inspire, finding themselves in positions where they can make a significant impact. So this is about making significant impacts, being ambitious, self-discovery. The number 10-1 is about independence, fostering self-reliance, and the ability to navigate challenges independently. However, it also highlights the importance of balancing independence with intimacy and connections with other people. Potential challenges that might come up may need to balance the independence with the intimacy in relationships today, becoming too dominant or too controlling. So be mindful of any kind of restlessness. But on the other hand, the number 10 one day brings up opportunities, strong potential for success, especially in leadership. It's a powerful source that signifies new beginnings, potential to achieve great things through independence and self-discovery. But we also have to learn to let other people in. Let them in on our secrets. Here are my isms. Nothing is more important than my feeling of joy and happiness. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. When we're feeling joy and we're feeling happiness and we're feeling upbeat, pleasant, all of those wonderful things, wonderful feelings, there's nothing else that matters. We are feeling on top of the world. We don't want to hear any bad news. That's why it's important. So your ism, I am letting go of unwanted emotional patterns and making room for healing and better vibrational energy. Because the brighter I shine, the lighter I get. No accident that Archangel Azrael has an affirmation for us. I am the healer of sorrows and loss. Allow me to bring you comfort and relieve anything that's weighing upon your heart. Here's your affirmation. I am stronger than my sorrows. Oh, I love that. My hope and faith always prevail. But I do like I am stronger than my sorrows. Oh, that's kind of a lovely affirmation to say when we seemingly experience that feeling of loss or helplessness, or I'm not doing very well, or what's going on. When we feel a little down in the dumps, knowing that we're stronger than our sorrows, putting hope and faith in its path. The moon is quickly moved into Taurus. As we're moving through the eclipse season, we must live as consciously as possible, being present to what's happening in the here and now. The tendency might be to act out and to do damage because this energy is still kind of high. Do the deep breath work today. That's going to be your best bet. Deep breathing. Count to 5 in, count to 5 out. Going into nature. We can all be pulled in by the blues of the world. We have Melchizedek with us all week long. Has that watchful eye, but also asking us to create righteous communities. Get with our fellow brethren. The higher learning, committing to studying. Perhaps you study the occult. I'm studying a new deck of cards, the Light Seers Tarot, in depth with the author who's going through how she came up with the images based upon the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. She took those initial images and reworked them into her own artwork by placing more dimension into it, and it's quite fascinating, her process of it. But this is the experience. The example I'm letting you have is do the divine study, do the divine work. You're being encouraged, we're all being encouraged to take a deeper dive into our spiritual studies, not skimming over the surface and doing the Reddit, what they call that, the cliff notes. No, we got to go deeper. We got to do our we got to do our homework. There's important messages when we go out in the world with this information, using it on our path and our skills to go to the next level. This is a good chance that with Melchizedek's help, the universe may put us in the pathway of people that could use it, that we could actually help. The other spiritual leader or activator, if you will, is Orion. I am the visionary of my future. The extra guidance you'll get from Orion this week is you're manifesting even when you aren't aware of it. That's his message. Universal sources is listening to our desires, our prayers. They're actually listening to support the vision that we have. And the essential part of manifestation is how we feel about those visions. So if you don't have a vision, if you're not clear about what you want to do, you're not clear about where you want to go, you need to get clear. If you feel drawn to something, probe what you're drawn to. Why am I drawn to this? What does my higher being want me to know about this? What does my higher being want me to feel about this? What does my higher being want me to do with this? And you're going to feel it in your heart space chakra. You're going to feel it in your jaw. You're going to feel it in your joints. You're going to feel it in your hands, your fingers, your toes. Whether this is something that lights you up or something that's asking you to pay attention so you can release it and let go. Let's see what the fairies have to say. Gertrude and Beatrice are still at they're actually pondering their next steps. They're asking us to be very reflective, to bring in, you couldn't get much higher than Melchizedek, Orion, and I like to call Azrael, Uncle Archie. I've shared with many of you that when I had my near-death experience on September the 11th, 2013, he came to my hospital room, and I was on my way to over, and I just decided not to go. He came. They were coming to get me. They were coming to take me into the spirit world. But I wanted more work. And that's when my maternal grandmother came forward and said, you got more work to do. And boy, was she right. Look, we have this one for the second time this week. So the card of inspiration showing up twice, reminding us to be prepared as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration. Come the dusk of the day or the dawn of the day, she can call at any time. I think I've said to you, and it might have been Sunday or Monday this week, what inspires you? And I know for myself, it might feel like I've been in flux. We've all been in flux. There's the social claptrap. That to me is what it is. It's a load of claptrap. Because it makes no sense. On one hand, and this is my opinion, don't beat me up, there are people that self-promote. I think I've done it. I'm always wary of it. If I'm self-promoting, what am I promoting? And is it serving me only? Or does it serve a greater purpose? There's my rub. I have to ask, what purpose are you serving? By trotting out this claptrap. And I'm going to say it. I'm having to think because Gertrude is saying, spit it out, baby. Just say it. Beatrice is saying, oof, careful what you say, because it comes back to bite, and it does. But I'm going to say it. Gertrude is right. Card readers, spiritualists, whatever you want to call them, who predict what is going to happen on a political stage. All over the world, there is an uprising of light. There's an uprising of love. Yet we still have our card readers, whatever you want to call them. They all have lovely fancy names. They have these creative labels to set them apart. We're not apart from anybody else. We're no better than anybody else. We're different for sure, but there's a collective energy that's for the highest good of mankind. This is what I'm about. I want people to start their day on the right foot, not the back foot. But there are some who are very overly interested in the political forecast. And I've often thought to myself, why are they so obsessed, there you go, with it? What does it matter? You mean those who are out to create control, those who are out to quash the abilities and the possibilities of other people, those who are judging other people unfairly for whatever they want to believe in. Why are we on that bandwagon? Sometimes I think, who cares what's going on? What does it matter that, this is happening over here and that's happening over there? I don't agree with war. I do not. I think that the barbaric way that innocent people's lives are ended suddenly or put in fear and terror, how is that good anywhere? Because you're worried about whatever you may or may not be losing. And I don't want to go into all that, because again, it's claptrap, rubbish, propaganda done to try to control people. Which is why the higher learning, which is why getting into the sense of there is a great energy out there that's pulling us into something bigger, something better, something greater. It requires most of us who've lived in this physical realm on this big adventure to release and let go of the control. It's unfortunate, but we do it. And through our awkward experiences, and they're awkward, through our challenges, and they're tough, we get to then become stronger than our sorrows. We get to be the testament that other people can follow. What did you do? How did you do it? I had the faith. I had the hope. I had the grace of God. I had the grace of the Creator. I had the grace of the universe with me the whole time. Because somehow or another, every single day, the fairy of inspiration, comes knocking at the door. Tell me how I inspire you today. Tell me how I motivate you today. Tell me how I heal you today. Tell me how I help you find freedom today. That is who we should be listening to. And that's the voice of God, the voice of the Creator. So go out, my friends, create something magnificent. Go in the mirror, look at yourself in the eye and tell yourself that you're stunning. That you're absolutely magnificent. That you're stunning and there's nothing more beautiful than what you see in the mirror. Until tomorrow, bye for now.